Elsewhere in the country, farmers are taking advantage of this grain rally to get grain moved out of their bins and sold in town, which can always raise the risk of grain entrapments. Joining us now is Sam Goldberg. He's longtime television, film, and theater producer of the movie Silo. Sam, you've been very involved in the world of grain bin safety for some time. And what are some tips that you think producers need to have in their minds as they get ready to re-enter those bins?
You know, this time of year, you've just got to tell people what you're up to. You know, farming can be very isolating sometimes. A lot of times it's a lot of big machines and just a couple people on the farm, and someone heads up into a bin, and it might seem like it's a harmless act, but you've got to make sure you tell your spouse, your partner on the farm, a farmhand. Some people I know even call the local fire department and say, hey, I'm headed up into a bin, just letting you know if you don't hear from me. More than anything, doing your best to keep grain in good condition is crucial, so it doesn't clump up, so it doesn't sweat, so it doesn't get congealed and create the kind of pockets that trap people in grain. And then listen, if you got a harness up before you head up into a grain bin. You know, costs $50 to $100 to get a used harness, and it'll save your life if you do it the right way.
That is such a great point, Sam. And we heard just earlier this week, 2 farmers in Porter, Minnesota, entrapped in grain, and unfortunately, one of them did not make it out alive. The other one did, last I had heard. Sam, you mentioned the training that you do with fire departments. Can you talk a little bit about how far you've gone with these departments and where all you've done trainings?
Well, at this point, Silo's probably been viewed by departments in 40-plus states. We've worked with Grinnell Mutual Insurance, with Nationwide Insurance, with Sukup Manufacturing, Cargill, you name it, who are gifting, bequeathing, donating farm safety trainings to departments all over. And then having farmers watch Silo as well, because Silo is essentially a cautionary tale as a film. It is, here's what you shouldn't do if you're going into a grain bin. You know, do lockout, tag out, don't turn on the auger. Tell somebody, communicate. And I think for us, we're filmmakers at Silo, right? We're all about telling stories. Our movie in its most essential form is just about increasing communication on the farm, whether that between farmers and each other, farmers and their families, farmers and their local fire departments. We've just got to talk more and communicate. And yeah, Silo and grain training is all over the country, and there are amazing resources for it. Which, you know, we can point to in any way you need.
Absolutely, Sam. And of course, let's talk about that. For folks who haven't seen Silo, where is the best place for them to encounter it there out in the wild?
Out in the wilds, you know, silothefilm.com is our website, silothefilm.com. We point you everywhere you need to go. You could buy a DVD and watch it at home. You could stream it on Hulu, on Amazon, on Apple, anywhere you need. Or you can host a screening in your town, which is really our favorite way to do this, because you bring everybody together, you communicate with one another, you bring the FFA, the Farm Bureau, the fire department, you name it, and you host an event that is just not only educational, but invigorating, enjoyable, entertaining. That's our goal with this project, is we want to entertain first, because it's got to be an interesting story. And then if we can have the positive impact down the road of maybe saving lives, we're good to go.
That's Sam Goldberg, producer of Silo the movie.